Check, check, one, two. Sibilance, sibilance. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Testing, testing. Hello. All right. Enough of that. Uh, Good evening, everyone who is here and who's not. Um, yes, it is my birthday. Well, a week ago. um, but I'm just now getting around to going. Yay! It's my birthday. Um, a week later. Uh, and I'm 35 in the mirror, uh, but I don't feel a day over 87. Uh, yeah. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Um, so yeah, this is a um, a high quality production, if you can't tell, and I just thought I'd get on and talk about getting another year older and some other stuff, like the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift and Travis and oh, Travis getting, wasted for the celebration parade and trying to sing freaking his own special version of like Friends in Low Places uh and apparently somebody thought it would be fun to you know shoot some guns at the parade, um and there's some other things that I've seen on Twitter here, lately that I might touch on, but um but yeah, it it was a little painful, David. um I mean, I don't know. I just wonder what old Tay Tay is gonna have to say about him, or being like that. Maybe she'll write a song. Um, but anyway, this. um, but yeah, no, so my birthday was a week ago on the 8th, and I celebrated by going to the store, and buying myself a frozen pizza, um, and an apple pie, and I watched or I bought a DVD out of the $5 bin at Walmart, and actually, well, it was one of those, three movies, or multiple movies, um, and it was a John Hughes collection, and it had Ferris Bueller's Day Off, uh, Pretty in Pink, and Some Kind of Wonderful. Um, all classic, 80s movies. You know, couple of my favorite uh, favorite people um, from back then. Matthew Broderick, John Cryer, Eric Stoltz, Mary Stuart Masterson, Leah Thompson, Molly Ringwald. Um, but yeah, that was my grand birthday. And thank you, Papa. Appreciate it. Um, excuse me. Sorry. Um, my throat's a little scratchy right now. Um, speaking of scratchy throat, so last night, Valentine's Day, yay. Um, I I put out a twit on the X Twitter, um, saying yay, it's Valentine's Day, and I put a GIF of Adam Sandler from Wedding Singer, singing "Love Stinks." Um, but that's what that is. That's what us, single or non non uh, non-coupled people do. We mock stupid holidays like Valentine's Day, when we don't have a special someone to buy chocolates and flowers for. Um, but which and even if I wasn't flying solo these days, I'd still think it was kind of stupid because I mean, it's just like pretty much any other holiday. They've commercialized this crap, and it's like, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be, one day a year that you're, um, doing something, nice for your significant other. I mean, it's, Valentine's Day should be, any day, every day. It's whenever, and it's a, you know, it's a Wednesday, and you come home with a special little something something for your honey. But no, we gotta have one day in February where everybody buys chocolate and flowers and freaking diamond rings and shit. But what now? Why you want to burn flowers, Papa? Come on now. It's you know there's vegans all over the world starving, and you want to burn their food. um anyway. um uh, Hold on, let's see, what am I, hold on, bear with me for a minute. In my high quality production here, um let's see if I can do this here. um oh, let's see. All right, there we go. I am gonna open the gates. Um, Come on now. Trying to. Where is it? Where is it? No, star. No. I'm, I'm trying to pin the damn comment. Um, but I'm not seeing the damn button on here. Jeez Louise. Fucking boomer. I'm such a boomer. Crap. Uh, Seriously. I thought there was like a little button that said pin comment. And I'm not seeing it. No, that's not it. Settings. Info, streaming, private chat. Nope, 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 and nope. And putting it on star comment? No, not gonna put user in timeout. I can't put. I don't want to put myself in timeout. What is delete ban user? Oh god, whatever. Fuck it. Um. Can anybody help an old man out? And that's familiar with StreamYard. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this crap. Well, screw it. I'll just leave it highlighted for a minute. I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to fucking pin the damn thing. But it's not giving me the option. This sucks. I suck for that. See, this is proof right here that I am not a YouTuber. Unlike Mexican Iron Man, who is a YouTuber. Come on, not. Is it because I'm trying to do this shit from a phone? This is crap. I swear. Whatever. I'll just I guess I'll just leave it highlighted for right now. Up on the screen. And if you guys comment a little, comment enough and it goes off the freaking screen, I guess I'll just throw it out there again. Anyway, fuck it, let's move on. So the Super Bowl. Yeah, Sherry. I I push or click on the three dots over to the right, and the only uh, the only options it gives me is to star the comment, delete the comment, put user in timeout, and ban user and delete their comments. There's nothing that says pin comment. So I don't know. I thought there was at least once upon a time, something saying, pin comment, but anyway, maybe I don't know, maybe this guy can like manifest something for me.
Oh, hello. Hi. Hi. Where am I? Oh, shoot. My father's calling me. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, Shellback? Is it true that it's your birthday?
Yeah, you sound like very low volume though. Like
Am I projecting better now?
no, I mean I can understand you. It's just that you are very low volume.
But I have the best audio setup ever. It is tremendous. It is great. It is huge. It is.
Hold on a second. I know what it
Now,
is.
okay, all jokes aside, Shellback, I got like pretty much like if I go any louder, I'll be in the red zone. So I mean, I could crank it up, but I don't know if it's a good idea.
All right. No. Actually, you're fine now. It's just I don't know for some reason it just decided to take it upon itself to cut out my earbuds, and so I was listening to you through the phone speaker, and while I have my freaking earbuds in my ears, so it sounded like you were in the other room.
Oh, I got you.
Anyway, yeah, no, you're fine now. But
And it's good to see the lovely Sherry here. It's good to see all of my friends. I
Right?
see we got David Gunn, we got Mr. Dub. I mean Snow Dub,
Yeah,
aka Jolly. So you
yeah,
were trying to pin a comment to the top, and on your
yeah.
mobile device, you're not getting the
Right.
option to do that.
No, I'm not seeing it anywhere. I went into the the little the more tab or whatever down the bottom of the StreamYard, and I've clicked on
Oh, that's
the,
why. Okay,
the
you know what the
I've
problem
clicked on the
is?
three dots to the right of the comment,
I got
and
you. So
it's not there either. So
I
I
think
don't know
what's
what they did
happening.
with it.
I think I know what happened. In your, I don't know. Like, I don't usually do it from the show, from the StreamYard side or whatever. But if you
Hmm.
go to the YouTube video, which, do you have any moderators right now? Anybody with a wrench? Because if you had
Yeah,
a wrench, they could do it for
still
you.
some, but I don't
But
know.
essentially,
Hold
what it is,
on.
if you on your phone, or where's my phone? Oh yeah, I have a phone right here. So I'll show you an example here.
There's a YouTuber that knows what the fuck's going on.
Oh, I
Is
forgot.
this the Mexican Iron Man bar mitzvah
Oh,
party?
what up, Luke?
Yes, it is. Shalom.
Shalom.
I,
Holy
I
shit,
just I was
where
just
am I?
talking about how this is like turning into a shit show because I'm not a YouTuber like Mexican Iron Man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
None of us are.
but yeah, no, I was sitting here. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to pin my comment. Because I just threw it out there for anybody in the chat who wants to kind of come on here and like talk with their voice. But I'm not finding any. I'm not finding the pinned comment thing. I've clicked on everything I can see to click on, and there's nothing that says pinned comment.
You can't
So-
pin the comment from StreamYards. You would have to
No.
be in the chat on. Yeah.
I thought there was a pinned comment on fucking StreamYard. I don't know. It's been too long since I fucking did this shit. So, and I don't know.
There we go. Now.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this without eating myself from my own damn stream.
It's what probably will happen.
But
You go out.
Yeah. No, I guess I'm still here. Because I can still hear you guys. Oh, there, look.
There we go. Okay, good. I wanted to find my
There's
phone.
my stream.
So let me
Come
see
on.
here. So basically, Showback, what I was getting at was
It won't let me click on it. What the hell?
yeah. So anyway, that when you get back on, how you doing, Loki?
Going on, brother?
I don't know. I just gotta clean my desk here. I got like so much junk on here, and it's like, I'm never gonna become an artist like Makini if I, have a mess on my desk. I mean, with a crooked drawing tablet. How is that supposed to work out? But jokes aside, I'm chilling.
You gotta keep your work area clean.
Tell me about it, man.
Ta-da!
First thing I'll do is put away my physical media because nobody likes getting scratches on it. Oh, yo, so Loki, I made a discovery yesterday. I discovered that if you keep a CPU really cold, not only will it run at the full turbo speed, instead of throttling down the speed, which is what normally happens, but it'll use 40% less electricity because it was 26 degrees outside, and I put a AMD Ryzen CPU in an outdoor enclosure to run my telescope. So I would say if Sparta ever gives you any heat issues again, put it outside, and you should be getting really good performance until it rains.
Well, I live in Texas.
Oh.
So, yeah. Doesn't work for us out here.
Does it like get cold at nighttime, or is it like? I mean, I've been to Texas. It's not like a desert necessarily, so I mean, it's not like going to Arizona. Like, you know, does it get cold in the desert at night?
No, not
No.
here. It's hot. You got hot and damn hot, and oh my God, it's humid hot.
Mm-hmm.
That's about
Oh
it.
yeah, humid hot. That's the worst.
Oh shit, we lost Shelly. Where'd Shelly go? Holy shit.
He shall return. I believe in Shellback. Might take a while because, you know, turtles are not slow. Like when they want to get back into the water, they will sprint.
What's up, Snowdub? Snowdub's in chat. What's up? Lovely Sherry, David Glenn. I don't know what happened to the birthday boy. He left.
I'll have to save the cake.
I don't know.
I gotta light a candle for him.
I hate these things.
Yeah, man. I hate. I try to have a nice ample cable here. You know, I don't like when the earbud gets yanked out from standing up too suddenly.
I just hate them in my ears. So
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
get different ones.
So
Yeah.
I picked up something called bone conduction headphones, and basically I switched to them because I can wear them at work, and I can hear all of my surroundings when I'm riding my bike. But essentially, it's like they hang on the ear, but they go in front of your ear, not in it, and they vibrate through the bone. And so some people who have like certain forms of deafness can actually hear while wearing them. It doesn't work if you're completely deaf, but if it's like you're partially deaf, like the eardrum is bursted, it'll work. But I use them because partly I used to wear an earbud at work, and I'd have one earbud in my right ear all the time and then one ear open. And I found that would actually be bad for like things like even wax buildup and stuff like that. So eventually I got these bone conductors, and yeah, if you're ever looking for like weird headphones, like they have them on display at Best Buy. So if you have a nearby Best Buy, just look at the display. You'll see how they feel on the head, and you'll be able to judge just an idea. You know, it's like, you know, and they got Bluetooth on them. So I don't usually use them on my desk, but I've used them to stream from my laptop before, and they have like the acoustic cancellation thing where if you have a lot of background noise, they can filter it out. Hey, what up? Oh, we got Shellback.
Holy shit, Shellback's back.
Welcome back.
So my internet just freaking quit. I don't know. It's just the data just went boop. And I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, oh, man, that's just too good.
You operating on a telephone on your phone right now, Shellback?
Yeah, that's all I got. Ever since my laptop got stolen out of my car, like a year or whatever ago or so. I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah, I got you.
A year plus. It was not this past December, but the one before that, I think. Yeah, I was at my place of employment, and my backpack was sitting in my front passenger seat in my locked car. But somebody decided to jimmy their way in there, and they took the backpack, which I got in
that's much better.
in Saudi Arabia when I was in the Navy. We spent about 2.5 months in Saudi Arabia, and they had this traveling bazaar come by the base, and I bought this backpack, and had cool little, designs on it, and, with like palm trees and cross scimitars and stuff. And,
oh, that's kind of cool.
But anyway, yeah, something that, I can't really exactly, replace.
Yeah.
But my laptop and other things were in there. And so they just took backpack and all. They took a the cell phone that I replaced with this one. They took it, but it was like dead and dying. It wouldn't stay on. The battery was screwed, but which it's fine. I didn't really care about that, but it had a freaking SIM card on it with a bunch of pictures on it, and
That sucks. Yeah.
so anyway, they took that out of the console. They popped my trunk, and they took out a toolkit and my car jack. My little scissor jack. They took it. And yeah, a couple other things. But so
Here you go,
with
Shelly.
that,
Ooh. An F-15.
yeah, that's
Going old school.
That's
Little
huge.
F-14
that's awesome.
Tomcat.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a Tomcat? Oh, yeah, that is F-14, isn't it?
yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
tell. I called it an F-15. I was
Well,
in error.
So at the risk of sounding like a toxic male, back
Maybe
when
that
I
was a
was
Valk.
back when I was in the Navy, it's still kind of my first few years in the Navy, they still had Tomcats, and and this was 96, and they were kind of on their way out the door, but we still had them. And what's funny though is like that version of the Tomcat that like the engines, they put so much shit in the britches of those engines of the Tomcats that the later versions were not allowed to use afterburners to take off the carrier because it would fuck up the deck. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
because
shit.
they got those dams, right, that come up. You've seen like footage and stuff, and the there's a section of the deck that comes up and kind of makes a wall, and so yeah, but they were not allowed to put on afterburners because it would just totally tear up the decking from
Yo,
the
wait. So
afterburners.
you're saying that when they use
But
the afterburner and you have the blast shield up behind the plane, I got a demonstration.
yeah, yeah.
It'll actually burn a hole through it? Or
Well, I don't
damage
know if it
it,
burned the
maybe?
hole through it, but it would, it would take off all the non-skid and,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
burn
yeah,
off the
yeah.
non-skid and,
Oh, that's cool.
it would probably would, do a little something to the
Well, yeah, I
metal.
got
But
you.
yeah, it's but the which the F-18s, they're not they're not like that. They still they still use afterburners when they get a shot off the cat. But yeah, it's which it was, you just made me think. So it's funny because one of the times that they were launching one of those F-14s, I was up trying to fix something on one of our EA-6Bs, and so I'm there. I got the engine bay door open, and I'm like basically having to do a back bend to get up in the inner wall and to like safety tie something together or some crap. I can't remember what I was doing, but so anyway, I'm sitting there, bent over backwards, reaching up and doing something just by feel alone, like I couldn't see it, and then they're launching these freaking F-14s, an F-14, and I hear the freaking engine, I hear him hit the throttle right just before they take off, and even with that dam up, right, even with that freaking big freaking piece of the freaking deck in between me and that plane, it was still had enough thrust, freaking coming around that thing to lift my feet up from under me. So I'm like, it's trying to knock me on my ass while I'm up in this freaking engine bay backwards. But yeah, no, I guess they're like, no, no, we're gonna switch over to the F-18 so we can, have more planes with, all the same parts and stuff, and
That makes sense.
yeah, um, but yeah, it's yeah, that movie right there, I think was kind of responsible for duping for duping a lot of young men into naval service back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good times. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and they end up, being the guy that freaking uh, scrubs the deck or something. But
Those poor undesignated
yeah,
strikers.
yeah, yeah. Which I don't know, man. I mean, so I went in, I wanted, something specific, right? I was like, I am not going in on Dez. I'm getting a job, right from the get go. But there were times in my naval career that I was like, I wish I would have been a freaking undesignated, and so I could have chosen something else. But anyway, it was what it was. As when I signed up, they're like, "Hey, you'll get $30,000 extra dollars for college if you take this job," and I was like, "Okay." But anyway, it is whatever it was, what it was. But things were getting a little bit political, and so at my 10-year mark, I'm like, I'm out, bitches. But and I've gone back and forth over the years. Um, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I got out. Well, I wish I would have stayed in. Um, cause like those times when I'm like, trying to rub two pennies together, and kind of like now. Um, and I'm like, if I would have toughed it out for 10 more years, I would have been what? Well, I would have been retiring right when Mr. Trump got elected to the White House. Um, so yeah, if I would have stayed in for 10 more years, I would have been uh, at that 20-year retirement in 2016, right? Yeah, 96 to 06, 06 to 16. Yeah.
Wouldn't have been a bad year
So,
to get out.
huh?
Wouldn't have been a bad year to get out.
No.
You'd have missed all the
No.
the poke fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. There's other times where I'm like, well, I'm glad I got out because of, the bullshit that happened or that has happened between 2006 and 2016, as far as the military goes. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not in now, because our current uh, commander in chief, in name only, but our current commander in chief, fuck that guy. Um, I mean,
Sniffer in
which
chief.
my oldest son, right? I've got two boys, and the oldest one is of military age currently, and he had aspirations of joining the military, after he graduated high school, and then along comes uh, old Potato Joe, and he's like, no, fuck that shit. I'm not joining up and having that guy be my commander in chief. And I was like, well, I don't blame you. Uh, but it's irritating though, because um, to my knowledge, if I understood his mother correctly, he had his eyes on becoming a United States Marine. So he's putting off a fine future because of the dipshit that fortified his way into the White House.
Well, he's
But
not even in charge of his own poop deck, dude.
yeah,
So he goes out there and talks to people, and he's like, hello, fellow America. Oh, I got to squeeze one out right here in my diaper. Oh, I froze. And Secret Service is sitting there. Yeah, Joe one is pooping his pants again. President has shit himself. Send in Joe. Send in Joe now.
yeah, but yeah, that which it's funny because even though
Tell
that
him to
was
get a
lower,
pooper scooper.
even though it was lower down on my list of subjects, the 2024 and what's to come, it's I mean, that we're only in February, and just the shit that we've seen on the freaking news and stuff. It's holy shit. It's like, what the fuck is this shit gonna look like come November? But
They're doing everything they can to wipe out all opposition. What a time to be an American.
right? I don't know. I'm just and the bad thing about it is I can't afford any extra ammunition right now.
Who can?
and and I've only got like 700 and like 700 rounds in the house right now, which those uneducated people would be like, holy crap, you've got 700 rounds of ammunition. I'm like, yeah, that's not shit. I can go through 1 or 200 a day at the range, but
Is it feasible to make your own, like make it at home, like just like musket balls where you
oh
melt
yeah,
the lead?
well, it's real feasible if you can afford to buy the equipment,
Oh yeah, yeah.
to make your own bullets with.
Reloads. Yeah, you just reloads.
You gotta. There's the press part where it actually you press the business end into the casing, but then you've got uh you get like a scale that because however many grains of powder you want to put in there, you got to measure all that out. But yeah, it's getting a whole setup to do your own ammo is gonna probably run you at least $500. I don't know.
Okay. I remember looking into it, and I mean, I can't even do anything. I live in the communist state of New York, so that doesn't
Right?
happen
Yeah.
here. But it was fascinating to me because, like, and I remember the thing I was interested in. Well, not interested. I was reading a comment on YouTube, and somebody says, "Forget about making the ammo. Learn how to make primers," because at the time, at least it's like 3 years ago, there was allegedly a shortage of primers. So the logic was, if you could
Yeah.
procure everything else and you can make the primers, you could make money. I don't know
Right.
if that was
Well,
valid, but
the primer is just a part of it. That's just a piece of the pie, Yeah. But so yeah, that's the primer is just a one part of what it what goes into making a round. But which I'm not an expert, so I can't like you know
oh, it's an essential
say
part,
say
right?
it exactly, but I mean, it's like there's the primer, the casing, the freaking
The shell or
the
whatever.
shot, the like I said, the business part, that comes out of the gun,
Hmm.
the powder, all that, yeah. But excuse me. Um, Mercury 5. Okay. I'll take your word for it, David. Mercury fulminate.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. But
Fulminate. Just want
yeah.
to know what it does.
But speaking of guns and shooting, apparently somebody at the Super Bowl celebration parade in Kansas City wanted to do some pew pew, and I guess what, like something like 20, 21, 22 people or whatever got injured, and one person got killed, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, another one, another
They're
thing we
calling that
need.
a personal
And
dispute.
yeah, but I don't know. Somebody was like, I saw somebody on the X twit. Was like, yeah, I can't get no info, on stuff, and I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter because they're just gonna, blame it on, MAGA white supremacists anyway. So, even if they're, you know, even if their complexion is totally the opposite, which the little clip that I saw, um, it did look like there was at least one person of African descent that they were putting into the paddy wagon.
The other one is here illegally, I believe. They showed a picture of him and gave a name and said he was here illegally.
You mean undocumented?
Undocumented. An undocumented American today.
Yeah.
Non-Hispanic, non-Muslim, non-African American.
Yeah.
White, dark-skinned.
Yeah.
A white, dark-skinned,
Yeah.
undocumented American.
What? Yeah, white supremacist. You have to put white supremacist on the end of all of that. Yeah.
Oh God. White, dark-skinned. I love that. White, dark-skinned.
Yeah, and I do believe he was yelling out, "This is MAGA country," as they were putting him into the back of the van. So yeah, it's good times. Yeah, it's although on a serious note, I did see something about somebody who's like, well, they're not identifying the the particular weapon because if that way Joe and whoever can which he has made another call for assault weapon ban and all that, yada yada yada, yakety schmackety. But yeah, I don't know. Which it's funny because it's like the in my humble opinion, the opposite needs to happen, because it's funny because like a lot of people are like, oh, it's like the Wild West, and it's like, yeah, well, the Wild West in the movies that you see isn't it? It's like a over dramatization or whatever, and it's like, in reality, back then when everybody and their uncle was walking around with a freaking hand cannon, people knew how to behave because they're like, if I start acting out, this guy like right over here, or that one over there, or that one over there, might put a fucking bullet in my ass. So, it's like,
the calls for disarmament of the population started, coincidentally enough, in Dodge City, because there were so many sons of bitches there trading cattle, bringing cattle to Kansas that they were getting kind of crazy at night and acting fools and getting drunk. And they finally put their foot down and said, you know what? No guns in town. They didn't say you couldn't own a gun. They didn't say you couldn't carry a gun. They just said you can't have a gun in town.
Right.
Because people were getting drunk and shooting up the damn town.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I suppose there's instances or whatever, but on a whole, I don't. I think that you ought to be able to carry wherever you go, which it's funny because like I said, my place of employment, right? So like 2 months, probably 2 months after I got my stuff robbed out of my car, is when I picked up my 9mm, and so it's which is funny because a lot of the time I'll just leave it tucked under the seat, where people can't see it, and of course the car is locked, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm always thinking like, it'd be real shitty if somebody decides to break into my car again and reach under the seat and find my $800 freaking pistol and decide they want it,
Nope.
But the thing is, it's at my place of work, you are technically, according to the rules, you're not allowed to be armed while you're at work. Although, don't tell them. But one time I was kind of running a little late, and so yeah, I went in, I clocked in, and yeah, I still had my gun on me.
Oops.
and so it stayed tucked right where it was for the entire shift, and nobody like looked at me and been like, "Is that do I see a gun in your waistband?" So
It's just a
It-
TV remote.
if they noticed, they didn't say any damn thing, but yeah. It's but
But yeah, when I think about theft, when I think about things getting stolen, I sometimes think about getting like a tracker or building a tracker or even putting an air tag on my mountain bike. And I'm pretty safe, but if I go to like Manhattan or Brooklyn, these are like Manhattan, New York, and London are like the bike theft capitals of the world. Like you leave a bike locked outside, you're lucky if the lock buys you time, but people will pick the lock. They will use a bolt cutter, a grinder. So, I would love to have a tracker on the bike, but of course, just prevention. I mean, I don't want the whole hassle of, having to find a stolen, like, Loki, how's Texas? Like, both of you guys, like if I park a bike in Austin, Texas, what are the odds that somebody will try to steal it?
Like a motorcycle or like a bicycle?
Like a good mountain bike, like an $800 mountain bike, let's say.
Is it locked up? Or did you just park it outside a
Oh
building?
no, it's locked up. Like it's like, let's say we got like a kryptonite bike chain on there, like one of those like 10-pound bike chains, and maybe a second U-shaped lock. So I got two locks on the bike. One that is really hard to cut, but hypothetically somebody could pick the lock.
Unless you're down in like the ward, nah. Nobody's gonna take the time or the hassle to mess with it. Now, if you just parked it outside, I'm sure some dumb son of a bitch would just jump on it right off of it.
Oh yeah.
But if it's
rightfully
locked
so.
up, not unless you're in like the ward, which is basically like the hood of hoods.
Got you.
Yeah, nobody's gonna mess with it. Or unless you're like the only white boy in South Houston, then you might have a problem. I wouldn't
Got
ride
you.
the bike through South Houston because that you probably get your ass kicked and they'll just take the bike because it's a lot easier to just beat your ass and take the bike than go through a lock.
Yeah.
That is true. It's not locked. The thing's already mobile. Just knock the guy off and you're good to go. I've had a couple of near misses where like somebody tries to accost me on the street and they'll be like, hello. And I stop by, hi. And they'd be like, what's good? Then they're asking you 21 questions. Then they're about to rob you. And then I say, you know what? I'm going to start moving. And I move. And then I separate myself. But as a result of that, nowadays, I usually don't get accosted. If I hear someone calling my name, I say, nothing good can come, well, not my name, but calling me, nothing good can come of this, so I don't, interact. But I could see where, like, if you don't see it coming, someone maybe throws a pipe into the spokes on your bike, and then you flip over and you relinquish your bike.
I thought Manhattan was supposed to be the the upscale borough.
I mean, it is, but like the people who live there are upscale, at least in downtown, midtown. If you go to the Sloan Kettering Hospital, which is like a cancer hospital, like I noticed that there's a shit ton of like $4,000 bikes parked there owned by doctors. So my guess is that they just have people on top of the security cameras there. Near where I work, it's like there's a data center. So if I lock a bike up over there, it won't get robbed because the police are like right next to it. But if you're going like downtown to a head shop or something like that, or a record shop or anything like that, or Chinatown, there are people who are on the lookout for bikes, and they will literally, my dad's seen people lift a bike over a signpost. So you like lock your bike to a signpost, and they will get up on a ladder, pick the bike up, remove the sign, and then, get it onto the pickup truck or whatever, or just carry it away, and, so it's a mixed bag for sure. And, I think you saw how we had the Summer of Love and how, it was over here. Lately, I witnessed my first Free Palestine protest a few weeks ago. I was hopping on a train and people kept saying Free Palestine. I said, oh, you're giving away free stuff? But jokes aside, it was interesting because like, it was just like they rode the train and they made a bunch of noise, and then you had like some people exchanging different types of propaganda back and forth. And, I try to have middle ground, but in this case, I just, rolled with it, listened, and, whatever. I don't know what the moral of that was, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, people are too lazy here for that shit. I mean, like, if you went down to like, South Houston or even some parts of downtown, and you're, riding your bike, you might be riding your bike and you'll hear, hey, Pee-wee, and you go and look, and something's being flung at you and they knock you off your bike and take your bike. That's easy to them. Going through the lock and anything elaborate, they don't want to fuck around with that.
Yeah.
They might beat your ass and take your key for it, or beat your ass and tell them how to unlock it. But they're not going to just take the bike. They will wait and do it the easy way for them, which is kicking the shit out of somebody or throwing a pipe or somebody or just pulling a gun on somebody. They're not going to go through elaborate ways of stealing shit.
Oh, if I bring a bike to Texas, I will not drive by downtown Houston, or if I do, I won't drive slowly. I will pass not go not pass. You know what I mean? But yes.
Yeah. Do not go into the ward. Don't go to South Houston. Stay out of anything. If you see a pair of shoes on a phone line or like a light pole, keep driving. That simple. Just keep driving. Don't stop there.
They still do that?
Yeah,
they still do that.
Now, see, I don't know about now, but like back in the day, if you saw a pair of shoes wrapped around a power line, that was a place to like buy drugs or whatever, I think. But at least that's what I was told. I don't know.
I mean,
now
why
it's
not?
a sign of some poor little shit got his shoes taken and thrown up on the power line because he couldn't keep them, or he wasn't fast enough to get away, or something.
Oh my God, I can picture that.
But speaking of people fast enough to run away, old old Travis Kelsey, boy, he was at that parade, and he had to been like 3, 4, 5 sheets to the wind, and he's sitting there trying to, or standing there, trying to do his own rendition of Friends in Low Places, looking at his telephone, and freaking old Patrick Mahomes behind him, looked like he was holding him up. And but yeah, it's like, see, this is what eventually this is what happens, when you date Taylor Swift, it's you just you end
Yeah.
up going nuts, and then she writes a song about you. So um
Well, the
I'm
fake ass too. The fake
I'm
ass is
guessing,
something.
yeah, I'm guessing sometime between now and I don't know, August, uh we'll hear about Taylor and Travis breaking up, and then sometime early 2025 we'll get a song about her breaking up with a football player. You know,
Well, I
but
mean, I'm surprised it hasn't already happened. If he's been in her pants and he knows about the fake ass. So it's
yeah.
like one of those things that, you can't undo. As soon as I saw like the dress go up and you see the fake ass cheeks, I was like,
What, to me they look like a pair of, like, girdle panties or something like that. It's like, like something grandma would wear. Yeah,
her granny
but
panties with
yeah,
fake butt cheeks.
but I mean, it's and the thing is, God, I was like, the past couple few weeks, I've been just like so fucking tired of like all the freaking shit on social media and media in general about fucking Travis and Tay Tay, Tay Tay this and and it's like, oh well, the fucking Super Bowl was gonna be rigged because of Taylor Swift, is dating Travis Kelsey, and they're gonna make some sort of uh endorsement, about Biden and shit, and it's like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, shut the fuck up. If it was freaking San Francisco, if she was just dating somebody from fucking San Francisco, you motherfuckers would be, I'm like, it's I'm just so fucking tired of hearing her fucking name, and it's like, the and her, her endorsement of said fucking potato in the damn White House, and which, Travis ain't, I'm not really happy with Travis's choice of sponsors either, with,
Look how he
like,
treated Andy, dude. Look what he did to Andy. I'll tell
I
you
I
what.
don't know what that was about, I mean, even uh supposedly, he was just, yelling at him to like keep him in the game, or the like, or or he took him out for a little while and let somebody else in for like a quick minute, and something bad happened, so he was a little upset that that he wasn't in the play, and because he's like, that wouldn't have happened if I would have been there and
No,
shit. But
dude, you don't
it,
do that. You don't do
regardless
that.
though, it's like,
I was in sports almost I was in sports for over 20 years. From
yeah,
baseball to football to boxing. You do not ever scream at your coach like that. It doesn't
yeah, yeah,
matter
oh
who the
yeah, I
hell you
know
are.
that's yeah, it didn't really matter what the case was, but just the fact that and he didn't even just come up on him, like they bumped, he freaking bumped him, and it's like, what the, I'm like, that's your fucking, that's your head coach, dude. I mean, yeah, you're making, millions and shit, but and you're one of the stars of the team, but holy shit, it's like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
But
know,
brother,
I'm
I gotta
like,
go.
Andy don't deserve that shit, but
I gotta hop off here. Congratulations. Happy birthday, dude. Happy
thank you,
birthday. I
sir.
hope you had a good birthday, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
I mean,
you.
it was kind of just another day, but it's
Well, it
the
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be
the
just another day. It's your day.
yeah,
I always tell
the
everybody
big
that. It's
ones
your day.
though. One of the big ones though is coming up in a couple of years. I'll be double nickels in a couple of
Oh
years.
shit.
So yeah, but who knows if who knows what's going to be going on in 2 fucking years from now? But
You'll still be here kicking ass
yeah,
and taking shell.
yeah. Well, let's hope, and hopefully it won't be from some foxhole.
Oh
But,
shit. All right, brother. Take care. Happy birthday, DJ. Always good to
yeah,
see you,
man.
brother.
Likewise, Loki. Have a good one.
You too. Later,
Appreciate
guys.
you coming by, man.
Oh
Thanks
yeah,
a lot.
brother. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Shellback, I keep muting my sound, and sometimes I forget to mute my sound, and that's I apologize if I make some ruckus when I'm not muted. But yeah, I'm just
I haven't noticed anything.
oh, okay. I'm just cleaning my desk, because I gotta, like Loki says, I gotta maintain a clean workspace, and to put cool joysticks or throttles on your desk if you want to have a jet fighter, you gotta have a clean space. Although I have no room for that right now. But the throttle is pretty cool. But yeah, man. Hmm?
I don't know. Let's I ranted, I ranted a little bit, about, Travis and Tay Tay and how sick I am of both of them. But at the same time, I'm still happy that my team won. If like I said, if San Francisco would have won, people would be, cheering them on, and happy as clams, and for them and stuff. So it all depends on if whether or not your team won. If like I said, if San Francisco would have won, all the naysayers would, they'd be singing praises right now, instead of, oh, it's, oh, it was fixed, or it's because of Tay Tay dating Travis and blah, blah, blah.
That's a good
But
point. I mean, it's like even with politics, I'm not really into the loop of sports, but people will criticize their opposition for the very same things that their own, their own people, the people that they like, the people they vote for, they'll criticize the opposition, but when their own side is doing it, it's like they ignore it or they make excuses for it, and I just dislike double standards of that type. It's like I wish people, especially when people don't want to. I don't mean to rant too much, but I wish people would sometimes just chill the f out when they get all up in arms and emotionally driven about politics. Like, chill out, just think about it for a minute. It's not like that big. I mean, I get it's important. The politics can be important to our daily lives, but the way people act about minor, trivial stuff, like they get outraged when the television tells them to be outraged over something, and it's like, chill out. It's not that big of a deal, buddy. I assure you.
Well, and especially with this, being an election year and all, of course we're gonna be hearing about shit left and right, and the TDS is gonna flare back up and stuff, and it's like, and there's people that are like, oh well, this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he he might have done this, he might have said that, he might have not had, the best decisions as, people that, he had in his cabinet and this, that, and the other thing. But hold on a second. Sorry, I had to let out a big old cough and clear my throat.
Yeah, I dig
Um,
that, man.
But you know, Orange Man is still the best man for the job.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
yeah, it's like all things being equal, the economy was running fine. The only thing I've heard people like, even who liked him, criticize was when that Iranian general was, assassinated or whatever. And even then, it's like, you know what? It didn't lead to a protracted military engagement. We did not,
Right.
become committed to some big thing. So, like, they shot at us, we shot at them, they shot back, and it was like, okay, the exchange was over. And I'm like, this is kind of like what I would prefer to see, as opposed to spending, a bunch
Right.
of time doing adventurism
Right.
and things.
Well, and he was the only president in recent history not to get us involved in anything new.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, we were still in Afghanistan and all this stuff, but it's not because of anything he started up brand new.
That's right.
And because like that's been a big criticism, was like, when he's like, I didn't, there was no wars or whatever, and they're like, people are like, well, we were in Afghanistan, and it's like, yeah, but it's not because of he didn't start it, we were already there, we.
Yep.
Because we've basically been in the freaking Middle East ever since the 90s, from the the first Desert Shield and Desert Storm, but which when I was in the Navy, that's one of our things was like for 6 months every year and a half or 2 years, you'd end up on a 6-month deployment, what us West Coast sailors called a Westpac.
Oh yeah.
And
Heard that.
that's when you go on the boat for 6 months, at least 6 months, and then we chug across the Pacific, and over to the Persian Gulf, and we do laps in the Persian Gulf for about 2.5 months, and then we start making our way back home, or actually more than 2.5 months, more like 3 months or 4, but yeah, it's and I did that twice, and so and it's and it's funny you talk about that Free Palestine thing, and it's like, it's and all these LGBT plus people are out there yelling Free Palestine, and it's like, do you not know that over in that part of the world, people like you would end up being thrown off the roof of a 4-story building? It's
Isn't that something that literally happened too? Like someone got thrown off of something. I'm sure somebody got thrown. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I thought I heard something like that happening once. Maybe I'm. I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's the type of thing. Like it's true that at least here, even if you have a lot of people verbally opposing you, you are allowed to be of whatever orientation you want. Generally, as long as you're not impacting other people. Over there, if you were openly anything that went against what they consider acceptable, then yeah, you'd be thrown off a building or beaten up or dragged through the street. And so it's kind of ironic. And it's like, I remember I know in this hardcore fembot, and she was like, doing a post on Facebook about, Trump and how he's a dick to Muslims or some shit. And it's like, don't you realize, like, 1 minute she's espousing these virtues or the virtues of, women's rights, which are, okay, yeah, women should have rights. And she doesn't realize that she's supporting a nation of individuals where women don't have the level of rights that she's accustomed to having, that she's accustomed
Right.
to advocating for. So there is a certain
Yeah.
it's incongruent. Like what they're asking
Yeah.
for is incongruent with what they say they believe in.
Right. Which it's funny because I'm not necessarily pro-Israel, okay,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I know that they're they are a good ally to have in that part of the world. Um, so in a way, I understand us assisting them, but at the same time, it's like if they need supplies, like weapons or whatever, fine, sell them whatever the fuck they need. But do we need to be over there? No. Um, but yeah, just some of the people that are out there, yelling "Free Palestine," and if they were actually over there, they would cease to exist. Is it's like what's the fancy word, the cognitive dissonance, whatever.
That's the word.
It's like, but it's like and they're cursing Israel and saying all the Jews need to be exterminated and stuff like that. It's like, wow, you sound like that Austrian that Austrian German guy from 1930s and 40s. But yeah, but Israel would be like that one place in that part of the world that would allow those people to exist. Um, uh, anyway, yes, the funny mustache man, RR, exactly. Uh, go back up the chat here just a little bit. David, um, I'm sure that you'd be able to Google that kind of information. I don't know exactly, you know, what you're asking, is like as far as like the ballast or whatever.
Oh wait,
They get,
yeah. Well, let me see here. What kind of
they
stabilizer do they have
the
on
way
big
they
ships?
the way the
Tungsten
ships are
spring.
engineered or whatever.
I think you.
Um,
I think you
but
answered it.
the only the only ship that I was ever on that was underway was the USS Constellation, CV-64, which is
Ooh.
the aircraft carrier. Because I was I was in aviation. I was a aviation electrician's mate. Um, and so I was always attached to a squadron. So I was never ship's company, which was the people that actually are assigned to the ship and have to live on the ship. And well, until you get to be a certain rank, like once you make like petty officer or whatever, once you put on a chevron, they will allow you to like go get your own apartment or whatever. But a lot of the junior guys have to actually live on board the ship. But luckily, I was never ship's company. That's one thing that I was glad I was. I was aviation, and I was part of a squadron. Is the fact that I didn't have to live on a boat. Um, and the only time I went to the boat was when the flyboys had to practice. So basically what we called workups, which was when we'd go out for several weeks, or so the so they could get a little bit of practice in before we went on deployment. Um, so yeah, workups and deployments was about the only time I was uh, on the boat. And so out of my 10 years in the Navy, I've only got about a year and a half worth of sea time. Um, but yeah, let me tell you though, the carriers are, they're no dinghies. Okay, they're, you know, obviously there's some size to them, and but let me tell you, you haven't lived until you're cutting through the water at like 20, 25 knots, and all of a sudden the deck is at a 45-degree angle. you know on something that towers like 70 to 90 feet above the surface of the water. um because they do that. Every once in a while they'll do quote unquote maneuvers, where they're simulating the ship basically being under attack or whatever, and having to make a quick course correction. um but yeah, the when you got something that big, doing like 20 knots, and all of a sudden they just take the steering wheel and go woo, you know and yeah, you're you know on a boat that you normally do not even feel it's like a the proverbial Cadillac, right? Like you could have the roughest road, but yet the car is just sailing smoothly across the pavement. And that's how it is on a carrier, unless they do something drastic like that, unless they like, oh, holy shit, we got to turn right now, and so yeah, it's kind of a weird, basically it'd be like, standing here on land, and all of a sudden the ground pitches at a 45-degree angle. It's like, but anyway. So yeah, I would gather that you could probably just Google all that kind of stuff, and they
Yeah, there is a YouTube channel I found. It was the Battleship New Jersey Museum website YouTube channel, and the guy, he goes into like really good detail, like in every video, about some facet of running a battleship. And although a battleship is not the same as an aircraft carrier, he goes into the underbelly, he goes into the lower decks. He shows you where the ballast tanks are. He shows where, like, they used to use some of the ballast tanks as like a extra layer of armor, so that when a torpedo hits the ballast tank, that water absorbs some of that impact, or absorbs some of the explosive energy, and serves to protect the ship.
Yeah.
While they can also store either ballast or fuel in those tanks. They don't have to store water in the ballast tanks. They can store
Right.
fuel. And I mean, that doesn't stabilize it. I mean, it can help with, balance and all of that stuff. But when you're firing a cannon, like, you'll feel the shake on the deck, but apparently it's not necessarily enough energy to tip the ship over. I mean, they got like all kinds of mathematics, with the firing computer, the mechanical targeting computer, where it measures the wind, and then you dial in, what distance you're going to fire at. Maybe like if your powder charge is a bit old, like during the Korean War, they'd actually have to take into account that the powder charge is older, and that it would get less range for a given amount of powder. And when you factor all of that in, the targeting computer could pretty accurately predict where that round is going to hit home.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was all, yeah. So Battleship New Jersey, if anybody wants to check that out, and I would highly recommend it, David Glenn. I think the guy is a upstanding historian.
It's funny too, because like which they haven't had battleships for quite some time. They did bring the Missouri out of retirement for Desert Storm back in the early '90s, but which I have been on board when we were at Pearl Harbor one time. That's where they that's where they have the Missouri now, is chilling out at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, Oahu. But and yeah, and I stood
I stood on the spot where where the Japanese, signed the surrender documents
Oh,
and all that
that's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah. And you can kind of walk through the boat a little bit, and like some of the berthings, and you can see what it was like, a little bit back then. But
Oh, that reminds me, Shellback, when I was a kid as a Boy Scout, I went to Battleship Cove, which is in Massachusetts, and they have a battleship, a destroyer. Last I checked, they got a diesel submarine, I believe, in the bay. And so, as a Boy Scout troop, we got the opportunity to sleep on board the battleship Massachusetts. And so, I was in the section where you had like the cots or the bunk bed berths that were like stacked 4 or 5 high. And I remember one of my friends was bitching that like I was moving around in bed too much. But it's like, dude, I can't help it. You're under me, I mean, like I just, what am I gonna do? But that was kind of cool. It was just kind of cool to be able to like tour the ship. And we were allowed to roam the ship, but they said we couldn't go into the engine room. But we did anyway once or twice. But I could see why they wouldn't want the kids on the catwalk.
right. Well, and welcome,
What's up?
Real Wade and
Real Wade
and
Gaming
Sheep
Nation.
Herder. But
What up, Disney Sheep Herder?
Howdy, guys.
it is kind of cool though to think about them battleships, because like they could basically take something the size of a Volkswagen Beetle and lob it, like a mile or two away.
It's cool.
But
It's a good way
what's
to
going
put
on,
it.
gentlemen?
Nothing much. I'm just making content as we speak, so hopefully the controller isn't super loud.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
You guys got any thoughts on the stuff that we've been discussing? Like the Super Bowl or Taylor Swift or
It's rigged.
Travis or some idiot shooting up the celebration parade and
I thought it was okay. When I first heard it, I'm like, oh, it would be. I thought it'd be like L.A. or something, not Kansas City. But I guess I haven't been to that part of the country,
yeah.
so I wouldn't know.
Oh, yeah, Kansas City's not too bad of a little town, little city, whatever. I've kind of really only just driven through it or by it, but I was born and raised in Missouri, in the southeast part, down by the Boot Hill, and we always grew up rooting for the St. Louis teams. So like I've
So
been
the Rams.
well that when they were there, but they in hindsight, they were LA. They'll always be LA. But I am glad that that them and Kurt Warner were there to give St. Louis a Super Bowl ring. So but yeah, no, like the Cardinals. I've been a Cardinals fan since birth. And which is funny because we back in the day we had to be specific because there was the baseball Cardinals and then there was the football Cardinals.
Football.
But then when the football team left town, became my my home team. So but like the Royals, the baseball team, the Kansas City Royals, fuck those guys. Only sissies wear blue. Okay, so anyway, but yes, David, Kansas. That is one of the things that Kansas City is known for is their barbecue. But no, my hometown, that aircraft carrier that I was telling you about, that I was, that I would go on from time to time. When everybody was there, ship's crew or ship's company plus all the squadron people, there would be more people on that boat than there was in my hometown.
How did
My,
they even get it? So what? They have a river there?
what are you talking about?
Kansas City.
I don't know. Shit, I'd have to actually look at a fucking map. But
Sorry,
I mean, the Missouri
I'm-
River, the Missouri River,
Oh, Missouri River.
is not too far
duh.
away. But
Never mind. You just said you made it sound like they docked in the city.
no. Well, no, I'm talking like two different things. I was just talking about how population-wise,
Oh, okay.
you know,
No,
my
okay,
my
I got it
hometown,
now.
my hometown. You know, I come. The last time I remember looking at the sign, you know, that had the population, it was like 3,300 and something. And when an aircraft carrier is fully, you know, fully manned, you know, the ship's
Mhm.
company and all the squadron people, you know, all the airplane people, you know, you can have like 5,000 people on an aircraft carrier. So, but although, you know, my hometown is right on the Mississippi River. If you want to, if you want to put a town, you know, next to a river, my hometown is right on the Mississippi River. And we even have an earthquake fault named after us. So that's awesome. You know, if there's ever a big huge earthquake in the Midwest, it's our fault. Pun intended.
So, did you do anything fun for your birthday? Go back.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I went to Walmart and bought a pizza, an apple pie, and a DVD collection. You know, a 3-movie John Hughes collection.
Oh, really?
And
Hey, you better get your physical media till pretty soon. That's all
Right.
going to be gone. In a
and
jiffy.
David Glenn, it's New Madrid. I don't know what New Madras is, but if you wanna Google New Madrid, that's where I grew up. And that's also the name of the earthquake fault was, you know, because it was named for the county or whatever, I guess. But yeah, supposedly back in like 1811, 1812, when they had a big earthquake, and the river actually ran backwards for a while. That's cool. And at least from if memory serves, at least part of the old town of New Madrid is now currently underwater where the river is. So I don't think they had a nice big levee like we do now back then. But
Of course,
yeah.
life was simpler back then too. No offense. You didn't have all the technology we do.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm in my basement and I need to put a fridge down here. So yeah,
I dig that.
Is it your basement or your mother's basement?
seriously.
Like, what do I got?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, according to some people, we're all, you know, according to some people, we're all in our mother's basements. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. You know, they don't find many over 50-year-old geeks.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be one, but I can whip most people's asses, so I really don't care. So I'm gonna be me.
I don't know if I don't know if I could make that same boast, but you know, that's kind of why I carry a 9mm with me. So you know, if I can't whoop you, I'll shoot you.
Hey, do
But
what you gotta do.
you know, it's if if nobody can tell, I am a huge supporter of the Second Amendment. Um, you know, I'm of the opinion that you know, if you don't own and or carry a gun, you're kind of stupid. But
Or
you
live in a
know,
communist state like me.
I say that in the most loving Christian way possible. Okay, you know, when I call you stupid or idiotic, you know, it's out of love. So uh,
I
Yeah,
feel
no, but
stupid looking at all you people with freedom in this country, and I'm sitting
yeah,
here like all I'm allowed to have is like a pea shooter. In fact, no, I'm not allowed to
yeah,
have it, but like, you know, you could get an airsoft, I guess, and then you can go
right,
and get arrested
yeah,
after repelling a person from robbing your house, you know? So my best bet
yeah,
is to just
yeah,
bonk somebody in the head with a battery pack, you know? I mean, those things are freaking heavy.
right.
Those hurt.
Well, okay, so you know, I am currently a resident of the state of Washington. Um,
Where? Seattle?
and well, that's about an hour away.
What
An
are we
hour to
talking? Are we
an hour
talking
to an hour
dark?
and a half, depending on which way you go. Like I could hop a ferry. I could hop a ferry and be to Seattle in about an hour,
So
or
you're
I could get in the
talking
car.
going?
I could get in the car and I could drive uh, down and around through Tacoma and then up, and
You
that would
don't
take about
drive
an hour
through
and a half.
Tacoma.
Huh?
Tacoma is the place where you drive past and you don't stop.
Yeah,
Even I know
yeah.
that. I'm the next.
Well, well, I mean,
Okay.
I've been in Tacoma, and there's some okay places, and then there's
The only
places
place you
where
go into
I
the
don't,
only
you
place
know,
the only place you go in Tacoma is the Tacoma Dome. That's about
yeah.
it. Even I know that.
Uh, Now, if you really want to live, though, you get in the car and you cross the border over into Portland. Yeah,
No,
it's
you drive past. No. You
yeah,
no. That's only if you want to see the homeless.
and you know, you get in the car, you drive, you know, you cross the bridge, and then you know when you get on the Oregon side, you know, you look to the left and you see all the lovely tents, and you look to the right and you see all the lovely tents, and
No, you see
It's,
you
the
know,
city on burning.
so,
You see the city burning, but that's me.
it's
That
a
the
missed
last,
that part of
fiery,
it.
it's
the
fiery and peaceful. It's fiery and it's
yeah,
a mostly peaceful city.
yeah. The last time I had to go to Oregon, uh, I had to let out a little chuckle because um, you
I
know,
don't even know.
like
I
I
don't even
said,
know who the
up and
governor
over
is
to the
now.
left, you know, they you know they kind of have the ground built up a little bit, and there was this tent, but then there was a freaking car, right? And it's like how you know, so like
Oh, you're talking about the
you know,
freeway?
and I'm like, well, you know, he must be like the rich homeless guy because he's got a vehicle. Um,
You.
but
Oh, hey, you live. Oh, you think San Francisco is bad? I'm laughing. I'm like, you guys. Oh, I remember.
yeah,
Yeah, way simpler times before the bad years.
right.
You know what I mean?
But what I was trying to get at though was when I mentioned, you know, where I currently live is because we are like basically California 2.0.
I
Because
would say
we
3.0.
have a freaking governor that is, you know, basically an authoritarian, you know, like
Yep.
Gavin Newsom, and
I say
you know,
worse than them.
you know, they've uh, they've put out a you know, quote unquote assault weapons ban. They've they've made it to where you can't buy a magazine for your firearm that holds any more than 8 rounds.
Hey, if I were you, I would get out over to wherever the Idaho border is.
Right. Well, the
Before
reason
it
I
goes
live up
south.
here is because of my kids.
Where
You
are
know,
they?
my kids are up here, and you know, if they weren't here, I wouldn't be here. Right? You
So,
know, once both of them are old enough, and you know, they're off doing their
oh,
own thing, I'm
they're
probably
so
not going to
they're
be in
kid,
this part of the
so they're
world.
kids.
Hmm?
You know, so you're talking like kids, not like we don't.
I have 2 boys that live with
Um,
their mothers.
no, I didn't. No, I was just me. Are you when you say kids? Do you mean like kids, or are you talking like people acting like kids?
Offspring?
No,
Offspring, like clones of
yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
right?
Yes, I get
My
that
kids.
now. No, you
Young
I
adults?
I have
no,
like
you know what I
a
mean.
21 and a 13-year-old.
Okay, those are kind of like kids.
No, that's what I was. That's what I
Yeah.
figured.
Real quick,
One
I don't want to
one is up
interrupt
here in
anybody.
Washington. One's up in Washington with me.
Maybe you
Um,
should, DJ.
about
Yo, I'm really sorry. Real quick, show back. Happy birthday. Unfortunately, I must disengage from this communication because I must consume dinner. But I want to thank you for having me on, and I hope you guys enjoy. It was good seeing you, Real Weight Gaming Nation, and Mr. Disney Street Predator. We'll be in touch, and I'll watch you guys on YouTube over dinner. So good talking to you guys.
DJ.
hey, appreciate
Take
you
care,
being here,
brother.
man.
All right, likewise. Thanks very much.
Go.
Oh,
I mean, hey, depends on how. Okay, I could go on and on. You know, I would say worse than new song, but that's me. I'm glad I got out of that hellhole. Of course, what do I know? I'm gonna do a meetup there. Can't escape
Yeah.
it that much. But I
No,
mean,
you know, it's lovely scenery up here. You
no,
know, it is.
no.
Well,
What I'm
when
saying,
it's not raining. But you know, yeah, if if my kids weren't, you know, residents of the Pacific Northwest, I would probably be anywhere but here. Probably, you know, either down in the you know, the desert Southwest. I lived in Phoenix for a couple of years. That wasn't bad.
so no
You know,
wonder why.
I might go to
Uh,
Arizona, or you know, I have a brother that lives in Florida. You know, I
no, you don't go to
would
Florida.
probably go that way. You know,
I wouldn't go to Florida
but
unless you don't care about hurricanes.
uh,
It's
but
not bad.
How do you know?
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. A hurricane in Florida is not that big a deal. It's, I mean, they deal with them, you know, tropical
Hey,
storms and that stuff all the time. So,
Shellback, I'll be right back. I gotta take this call, so I'm gonna leave and then I'll come back.
all right, man.
I just had a phone call, so
It-
I lost the last 5 seconds. I'll be back.
yeah,
Bye bye.
but
Didn't realize it was your birthday, so happy birthday.
yeah. Well, it was actually last Thursday. So, I'm just
Belated.
yeah. I'm just now getting around to doing a stream. I was gonna do a stream, you know, on the day, but you know, being a nighttime worker, and you know, kind of being on that schedule, I just couldn't get my shit together in time to you know, to do it last Thursday. So I was like, oh, I'll do it this Thursday. But yeah, it's like I said at the beginning, you know, I'm 35 in the mirror. So,
Okay.
but
I'm not afraid to say I'm 53, so I don't care.
Yeah, I was it's funny, because which I don't really put, a bunch of stock into the whole you know, zodiac stuff, and the what do they call them?
You talking about the serial killers in the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, no, not the zodiac killer. No, I'm just talking about the your sign, and your
Oh,
the
yeah,
Aquarius, Sagittarius, all that stuff, and
yeah, I got you.
the and the thing that they put out like every month about, oh well, if you're if you're an Aquarius, this might happen to you and all that stuff. But but yeah, no, I was that is my my zodiac sign, as Aquarius, and there's a song called "The Age of Aquarius"
I got you.
that actually came out right around the time I was born. But oh well, that was quick.
What's that?
Me.
Hey,
Hey, you're gonna
back
hear
already.
dog. You're gonna hear dog barking. Hopefully not super loud, so in the background, but just so you know, they're quieter than I thought they would be.
Well,
Fine.
if they start barking and carrying on too much, just kick them or throw them
No,
out
I
the window
know.
or
I thought they
whatever.
would be barking, but they're not. I mean, normally
I'm
they
kidding.
bark,
I'm kidding. Don't call PETA on me. Don't call PETA.
but
I would.
anyhow.
I would just as soon toss another human being out the window as opposed to a dog. But you know,
But
it,
but anyhow,
it's funny. It's funny how a lot of us would much sooner be in the company of a dog or a cat than another human, isn't it?
right.
But
So like
so
I was saying,
what's going on, sheep herder? You ain't said much.
Nah, I don't get online and stream very often. I
Yeah.
appreciate you letting
Well,
me on.
neither do I. But
I just
I
pretty
mean,
much listen.
not on this channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that, Rudolph. I mean, Shellback.
Yeah, I don't know who's that guy, but
I mean, because I guess most people just, at least now they can put a name to a face or a face to a name.
mm,
Because I guess the way I type, people don't think I'm a grown man. So, but, I have fun.
uh,
I have fun just trolling or whatever I got to do online. It helps pass the
yeah,
time. A lot of times I'm working or I'm keeping an eye on people who are working and there ain't nothing else to do.
yeah.
So,
Oh, so I saw a thing or two on Twitter before I went live here, and apparently, in the realm of nerd and geek and pop culture shit, um, apparently there's this X-Men 97 or something like that.
it
Uh,
looks dumb.
and there's like a tweet about
Yes, I
the
saw it.
morph character, and they're talking about him being non-binary or whatever, and it's like are we not? Are they not done with this shit yet? It's like you know, there. How many years has it been now that we've been inundated with all this freaking you know non-binary freaking uh, LGBTQ plus whatever crap that they're like, oh yeah, well like, oh look, Iceman's gay. Yeah, it's like you know which I know that that's not a new one. They
What?
pulled that shit like a few years ago or something, and
Well, to me,
because
it seems like it all started, you know, 2016, Ghostbusters, Patient Zero, basically. 2016 Ghostbusters, I'd say, is Patient Zero.
I actually I actually forced myself to watch that movie, and I still didn't make it all the way through. It's like, to me it was like, a bad SNL skit, but because I mean it was just like, a bunch of slapstick with women, and it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't care who's in it or what they're doing. Still got to laugh, and I didn't. So I chalked that up under I wasn't entertained.
Yeah.
I mean, they had
And
all them cameos. What a waste.
well, I've got I've got the first two original ones on DVD, along with the Afterlife, and I've got a Blu-ray of Afterlife.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And which is funny because the Blu-ray has, it's got a Blu-ray disc and then a regular DVD disc. So I've actually got 3 copies of Ghostbusters Afterlife in the house right now.
Hey,
But,
Shellback, do you know your logo isn't up?
huh?
It's a nipple. You realize you're a nipple?
Really?
Yeah.
No, because on my screen, I'm my avatar's there, but
No, you're a
Let me
nipple. Yes, he's right. You're a nipple.
yeah. Well, let's see.
No,
The
you're
last time
fine.
this happened,
You're
the
good.
last time this happened, I quote unquote fixed it by switching avatars and then switching back. But I don't know. Did that fix it? Or
No.
okay.
No, you're fine. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even realize it.
I see you're a brunette, though.
Well, no. Well, that's my hood. I've got my hoodie on right now. I mean,
I saw your mustache.
technically, I do have brown hair, but I've developed a problem area in recent years. So I've got your haircut, actually, right now.
Well,
Hey,
nothing wrong with a zero fade.
right?
hey, Shellback. Are you talking?
Hey,
So if I say a city name, do you know? Since you're up there, if I said, let's see, Washougal, you know where that's at?
not off the top of my head. I might have heard of it, but I would actually have to like Google it.
That
But
was more my neck of the woods compared to
yeah.
your. Sounds like your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I'm if you've ever heard of Bremerton,
yep.
I'm close to there,
Yeah.
kind of across the water. But
But
yeah, I get to I can go down to the waterfront and see all the Navy ships across the way.
hey, sorry, sheeper. Do you would you ever drive down to the Oregon border since you're up there, or would you?
Oh, dude, I'm like one of the rare people from the South that stream.
No, I'm talking. Sorry, I mean the Shellback.
Well, I mean, there are times when I have to drive down to Oregon, because my younger boy lives in Oregon. So I from time to time I have to go, like through Portland and stuff. Uh, which the thing about living up here is, so it's it's
I'll be
the
right back.
cities.
I'm just putting the dogs away.
It's the cities like Seattle and Tacoma and Olympia and Portland, that make things, for lack of a better term, shitty. Um,
Ooh, I guess
you
I'll get
know,
to see that real soon. I guess in July I'll be up there on a job.
yeah. But like Washington, where I'm at right now, uh, Western Washington, this side of the Cascades is different than on the other side. The eastern, like the eastern 2/3 of Washington, right, is like normal people. Okay, it's the western side where I happen to be is where all of the blue-haired Landwell freaking lefty loos are. The- and it's kind of that way in Oregon too. It's like the Portland and like the college towns and stuff like that is where all the freaking loony people are, and then the rest of the state is like normal.
I'll say this: I've done a bit of work in California, but everything north of San Francisco is nice.
Yeah, I actually went to NorCal, like late last year. Went down there and visited with Wes Moody, who lives in Northern California, and it's not bad.
No, I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, but with the current leadership and political climate, there's no way in hell that I would move to California.
No.
So, I mean, it's bad enough. It's bad enough being where I'm at, in those regards. And because, like I said, it's pretty much the whole West Coast, is California-esque, in terms of the political climate, right? That's why I call it the left coast.
That's cute.
Because it's it's all lefty freaking politics that are fucking shit up. What is RR saying here? They turned Wolverine into a fudge packing simp who's trying to plow Cyclops. Well, and I mean, if that's if that's your speed, if that's your bag, whatever, more power to you. I don't care. But you know, as far as this stuff goes, you know, it's like, you know, it's like we've all been saying for years now. You know, it's like, you know, if you want to have you know, a gay character, lesbian, whatever, go ahead, knock yourself out, you know, and make one. But taking established characters that are not that to begin with, right?
And even if they were,
Leave them alone. You know?
exactly. I mean, that should not be the basis of the story.
No, the basis of the story should be them
I come to
fighting
watch
the bad guy.
I come to watch superheroes kick some ass.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if the person's gay or trans or whatever, as long as the story's good and they don't fixate on whatever differences that they have.
Yeah.
That's always seems to be a problem right now. They don't care about the writing or the story or nothing. It's all
I
about
mean,
what box can I check.
yeah. I mean, well, you know, I mean, in there can be, you know, there can be romantic type situations going on between characters. I mean, you know, you got, you know, Superman, you know, has got Lois Lane,
Yeah.
you know, stuff
As
like
long as
that.
it's part of the story,
But
that's fine.
but I mean, you know, so, you know, I guess they could make the argument there about, well, you know, Superman and Lois Lane, you know, yada yada, you know, you see them kissing or, you know, whatever, you know, in this comic and that comic, and, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, fine,
Write it
but,
in the story.
you know, you know, you know, he's not gonna, you know, make the moves on Lois Lane and then turn around and be like, "Hey, yo, what's up, you know, Jimmy Olsen or Perry White? You know, you wanna go back into the, you know, copy room and, you know, get it on?" No, you know, it's like, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm just
I
desperate
mean,
for good movies and good stories.
you know, that's like I said, you know, about that thing, you know, that X-Men 97 thing, you know, and they're like, oh, you know, morph is a non-binary person, whatever, and it's like, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, I watched the original X-Men, you know, animated show back in the, you know, early '90s or whatever, and yeah, I wasn't there to, you know, see him talk about, you know, how he identifies. I was there to see him shape shifting into other people and, you know, being a prankster, you know, um, you know, and I was there to, you know, see Wolverine, you know, pop out his claws and, you know, slice through a freaking metal wall, you know. I wasn't there to, you know, see Wolverine, you know, play grab ass with Cyclops, you know, but but well, isn't that Super Boy or whatever, Superman Junior, that they're having date Jimmy Olsen now? I don't know.
Ugh.
Which you know, I thought it was funny as hell though. Whenever it was that I saw, uh, you know, they had a picture of a page out of this comic book, right? And it's you know, it's Superman, Superboy, you know, Superman Junior, whatever the fuck, uh, and he's in a climate change protest, right? You know, and it's like, how fucking stupid is that? You know, you have a superhero, you have a superhero that could literally change the climate himself, right? He can, you know, affect things to like that degree, you know, like he could you know, take off flying above Metropolis and use his freezing breath and cause a damn snowstorm, in Metropolis. But no, they want to have him holding up a picket sign that says, stop climate change. It's like, I don't know.
Hello, awesome one.
Hey, Teresa. And yeah, I appreciate you and Awesome One and RR and David Glenn and all you guys. Appreciate you showing up for this shit show.
Hey, they're even smashing that like button.
All right.
They can
Yeah.
lurk all you want. Just hit the like button on the way out.
Yeah, do all the things as they say. I'm like and speaking of all the things, I've been hovering in my non activity. I've been hovering around 490 subscribers, and so like if I ever hit 500 to where I get a couple of those perks that come along with getting over 500.
So you got the streaming
I
hours.
might be more motivated, but which I know that's kind of a lame excuse to not make content, but
Well,
I honestly do think though that if I was 500 if I was 500 subscribers or better, I would be more motivated because to my knowledge, once you reach 500 subscribers, you're more visible for some reason. I don't know.
That is true. That's very true.
I don't know. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I don't know why you have to get up to 500 subscribers to actually be,
It's an algorithm
out there more. But
because I'll be honest with you.
To me, though, it seems like once somebody has subscribed to you, they should get notifications and they should see your stuff.
I never got one notification from your channel, not one. I think I sent you a text when I first got on.
Yeah.
I never received one. I just happened to glance to the left, where it shows everybody who's online, and I saw you, and I was like, I never see him, and I just clicked on it, and there you were.
I mean, and it's kind of the same with with the X twit, for some reason there's like over 1,000 people following me on X Twitter, but I'll put out a tweet and I'll only get like maybe 10 people will like it or something like that, and it's like it's like obviously people aren't seeing my stuff, if because it's like I only have like a percentage of people reacting to my shit that I put out there.
Yeah, no, I just checked you on X, and we follow each other, but I never see you in my feed.
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
I don't know. I mean, there's people that I follow on Twitter, and I hardly ever get notifications from them. It's like I'll or like I'll if I do see something from them, it's because somebody else that I'm following made a comment to their post, and and I'll see that that
makes sense.
like Drunk 3PO or or Gina Carano. You know, I follow both of those people on Twitter, but yet I won't see, I won't see their tweet. I'll see a comment from somebody else, that commented on their post, you know. So it's like,
No, it makes sense. I mean, Snow
yeah,
Dove, hell, you'd think he'd be all over, but he's not. He's like shadow
yeah,
banned. The only reason why I
yeah,
even see y'all, you or him or Punk Waddle, is in the
yeah,
messages. Those message streams we all have.
yeah,
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't see it. But
right.
you're right about that 500 thing. We need to
You
get you
know,
up over that.
and it, it
'Cause-
we- and it, it's kind of sad too, though, that you know, uh, unfortunately, I don't feel that I can afford the what $8 a month to get that blue check mark. Um,
I don't think that
because
has anything to do with it. Be honest with
because
you, because
well, the thing is, supposedly, if you have a blue check on the X twit, uh, your stuff gets put out there more. But so yeah, but
yeah. But you're
and
right about
and
that 500 though.
yeah, and there's times though when I honestly do think that I I'm in kind of some sort of shadow ban type area on Twitter because of
Uh,
some of the stuff that I talk about or retweet or whatever, stuff about Orange Man, and
yeah.
how
It,
I
it,
think that
it,
people
I,
that vote with a D are stupid
yeah. I
and stuff
think at
like
the
that.
very least, they've kind of loosened those types of restrictions since
Yeah,
Elon got involved. But yeah, there's still
yeah.
some of that going
It,
on. He
it's
ain't fixed
better.
anything.
It is better under Elon.
You're not gonna, yeah, you're not gonna fix it
Yeah,
overnight.
yeah. It is better under Elon, but at the same time, I honestly do think that there are still more than a few of the old guard still working for that company,
Yeah, and as
and
Butthead would
and
say,
they're doing their
probably.
best to fuck with people that don't think like them. But that's I guess that's a part of my conspiracy theorist coming out. But
Nah, sometimes bad things happen, and when people try to fix those things, it takes time and patience.
yeah,
But I can see another year or two, and I think it'll be fair for everybody. But yeah, there's still some of the old guard. I do believe that. That's not a conspiracy. That makes
yeah,
sense. You can see the restrictions and other things getting
yeah,
loosened up, but then you see on the
right.
side that there's still that shadow banning and other things
Uh,
like that. Just I think just give it a little
yeah.
bit more time because you can't fix things
But
overnight.
part of the things that makes it irritating though is the fact that you can get on Twitter and follow a porn star, but you can't voice a political opinion and have it widely circulated. You know, but
Yeah.
awesome one. I was never a CB. There was a time when I thought about crossing over to become to become a CB, but the if I would have cross rated from where I was, it very well might have kind of like uh, retarded my advancement. I guess it would be a way to say it. Like it would have or could have potentially taken me longer to get my next higher rank, uh, if I had switched from being an aviation electrician's mate to one of the CB rates. Uh, so I just stayed where I was, and then when my time was up, I bounced. But yeah, I which it's funny though, because if I would have cross-rated over to one of the CB rates, I probably would have stayed in that other 10 years and gotten my 20-year retirement.
Oh,
But,
so you did 10 years and you walked?
Yep.
Oh,
Well, it's just because it was so damn political at the time. It it seemed like the khakis, which basically would be the chief, the chief petty officers, chief, senior chief, master chief, and then all the officers, ensign, lieutenant, commander, yada yada. At the time, it seemed like all the khakis cared more about themselves than the people that were under them. Like they cared more about themselves than their troops, for lack of a better term. And like it seemed like the only time they did care about you was when you made them possibly look bad. So I was like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna ride out my time, and when I'm done, I'm done.
hey, let's say goodbye to David Glenn. He's been with you since I hopped on. Before that, actually.
Oh, I gotta bounce. Need to get ready for bed. Catch y'all later. Oh, he must be on the other side of the country.
And so am I.
But yeah. That's one of the things that kind of sucks about being over here is it seems like a vast majority of the happenings on YouTube and whatnot are according to the East Coast people.
I don't
But-
know. It seems like everybody I run into is Texas West or North in the Canada. I mean, I follow probably 1,000 channels, and I'd easily say 900 of them are y'all west of Texas or in Canada.
I don't know. So the people that I know of over here, are like, I mean, other than myself, is like say, Immortal Coil, which he's up here in Washington with me. The Rookie Critic, he's up here in Washington. Bear Nerd Fun, he's up in this neck of the woods. That 70s Rock Fan, he's up in Alberta, which is technically it's in the mountain time zone, so he's like an hour ahead of me. Snow Dub is down in Arizona, which at currently he's on mountain time, but when they do the whole time change thing again, he'll be on West Coast time with me, because Arizona is one of the few states that actually had a brain and was like, screw the whole freaking daylight savings time crap. So like they don't switch their clocks back and forth in Arizona.
Oh, good for them.
So yeah, when what is it? When we fall back, they stay the same. So
You should make a mime.
I should what?
Make a mime. When they fall back, they stay the same.
Yeah.
There's got to be a picture that is perfect for it.
Oh, you mean a meme?
Yeah, meme.
Well, a mime is one of those goofy guys in freaking Paris, France, that think they're trapped in a box. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
That's
one of these days, hopefully one of these days before I, become worm food, I'll make it over to, like Paris, France, other places. But
I mean, you got to remember, I just found out the other day what cray cray means. So give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter had to tell me that. I was like, "Oh, cray. That means you're crazy. I got you. We just call him
Well,
loco." Okay,
well, it's like, just a little while ago, I used the word yeet, and which is a kind of a recent slang term, but who knows, that might be old by now. Who knows? I don't know. It's like, I saw a thing uh, of new slang terms or whatever, and apparently there's one out now. Riz, I think it's Riz or something. Hell if I know what it means, but it's like, apparently there's things that can be Riz out there. So I don't know. I still, use words like, awesome and bitch and stuff like that from time to time. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not the greatest right now. Yeah, I know. It's like it's kind of Europe as a whole right now is not really a place that I would want to go. Because it's kind of like the oh damn, I'm drawing a blank on the damn word. Crusade. Yeah, it's like the third or fourth crusade over there in Europe right now.
oh, don't believe the hype. I go 3 or 4 times a year. It's just in the cities.
It's like the Moor. It's like the Moors have taken over Europe again right now. But
that's what they say online. But the truth is, it's not that crazy. I go all the time. Yeah, in the cities, it is what it is. But once you get outside those tourist places, Europe's still fun. They still treat us with respect. I mean, don't let some of these streamers out here fool you, or some of these news articles or fake news, whatever they want to call it.
yeah.
But let me tell you, I go all the time, and I can tell you for a fact, it's all right, man.
Yeah. But although Awesome One he's not wrong here when he says Europe was a test for the open border thing we got going on in this country right now.
No, not arguing with that.
But yeah, although I have seen things here recently where where the actual Europeans have just about had enough. And
yeah, pretty much they put their foot down.
They're starting to fight back on all these quote unquote immigrants. And but
yeah.
Excuse me.
But it's like everything else we deal with in the world. It's just a phase. And over time, it'll balance itself out. I'm tired of people being all negative, saying, "Oh, the world's going to end," or our country's going to be destroyed, whichever country it may be. That's just not going to happen. Yeah, there'll be some changes, but at the same time, stuff will be dealt with.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm kind of half joking and half serious, but like I've been ready for like a real life Red Dawn ever since 1984. When the movie came out. But yeah, it's I don't know. There's just
there's just a lot of people out there that want to gaslight us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't fall for it, man. Don't fall for it.
Well, I mean, and shit, shit could happen. Shit could happen.
I'm not saying
But
it
at the
couldn't.
same time though, just the sheer amount of freaking armed rednecks that we have in this country.
Trust me, I live with them. I know.
It's like, between the rednecks and the freaking outlaw bikers and other people, I think we might have a fighting chance of remaining the great country that we are.
We're always going to
Yeah,
be a great country. That's not
yeah,
going to change. It's an ebb and flow. There's
yeah,
always times when things get bad. I mean,
yeah.
you don't think if there was Twitter and YouTube back during the Civil War, you wouldn't have thought everybody thought our country had gone to crap and it'd be over.
Yeah.
Same
Now,
thing after World War One. Oh my God. Then we had our Great
yeah,
Depression, but we've always pushed through it. And then what
mhm,
happened? World War II came, and when World War II ended, for the next 20 years, I mean, our country was incredibly prosperous and everything was
yeah,
moving. The world loved us like we were the greatest thing since sliced bread. And right now,
mm,
yeah, there's a lot of negativity out there. But I'm telling you, man, you got certain things you got to be positive about. Yeah,
yeah,
you don't think this open borders thing's upset me? Yeah, it upsets me. But I know at the same time, it's going to work itself out. I truly believe it always does, especially with us.
yeah,
I mean, the U.S., as young as our country is compared to the rest of the world, we always figure it
right.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're definitely still a baby compared to everywhere else. Um, but and yeah,
Yeah.
it is shitty. It is shitty here right now. It is. I'm not gonna lie, because
Hello.
I and my bank account is proof of it. But at the same time, as shitty as things are, you know, I'm you know I'm I am and always will be glad that I'm an American, and I was born here and I live here. It's I
True that.
I wouldn't want to be in any other country than this one.
Good for you.
But
Same here.
you what's up, Bird?
Yeah, parrot
Thank
head.
yeah, th- thanks for the calendar. Um, but yeah, I got that conservative dad's calendar that everybody was having a shit fit over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I got sent one of those, and
Oh nice.
yeah, yeah. In fact, Miss Riley Gaines is the lady for the month of February. She's actually in here twice. Um, she's she's Miss February, and she's also like August, I think.
I think I
August.
saw her in the chat earlier, actually.
Uh, yeah. um, yeah. She's February. Let's see. Um, so January is a young lady named Peyton Drew. Um, it and then we have Riley Gaines for February. Uh, and March is Miss Kim Klasick. She's that extremely attractive black lady that was running for office in Maryland, because she did. I don't know if you paid attention to a bunch of that stuff, but she did a one of her campaign commercials. She was walking through the streets of Baltimore, in the not so good neighborhoods, and somehow, some way, she did not win. So either there was some fortification there, or the people of Baltimore are stupid. Um,
Hmm.
and then April has Miss Ashley St. Clair. I see her. I see her on the Twit Twats and stuff from time to time. And May is a young lady called Catalina Loff. Apparently, she was running for Congress at one time. I'm not sure from what state, but she's decked out in a t-shirt and a pair of cut-off shorts, standing in front of an old Corvette Stingray. So yeah, that's uber controversial. And then June is a young lady named Brittany Jean. And she's in a one piece, standing on the beach underneath of a pier. So yeah, that's super pornographic there. How dare her? July. July is Miss Riley Gaines again. So it was July, not August. And she's looking very nice in a two-piece bikini. Again, how dare her? Being a swimmer and all, how dare she be in a bikini? Let's see. August is a young lady by the name of Sarah Gonzalez. Apparently, she's one of the people that's on Blaze TV. September is a lady by the name of Dana Loesch. She's got her own show called The Dana Show, and she's a Second Amendment advocate, and so she's standing there in the ultra right beer T-shirt, because that's what this is. They're trying to sell some beer in response to the whole Bud Light thing. I think is the main premise of this. But yeah, she's standing there in a T-shirt and jeans, holding a couple of AR-15s. How dare she have the cojones to exercise her Second Amendment? And then October is a young lady named Bethany, right? I can't talk. Bethany Bartlett. She's a gym owner and America First content creator. I don't know. I'm not real familiar with her. Now, November has a lady that I see on Twitter from time to time called the Redheaded Libertarian. Her name's
I've actually
Josie.
heard of her.
Yeah. And she's in the kitchen, where some people say a woman belongs.
Oh,
And she's got like a short white dress, and then she's got an apron with the ultra right beer logo on it, whatever. And she's standing there with some sort of pie or casserole or something. I don't know, but and there's a crucifix hanging on the wall. So how dare she have a religious symbol in the picture? So controversial. How dare her? And And then December is Miss Ashley St. Clair again. Yeah, she's she's referred to as an author and conservative media personality. But anyway, for those who are unfamiliar, it's a calendar. It's called Conservative Dads. So DAD apostrophe S, Real Women of America 2024 calendar, and so it's and like I said, I'm pretty sure that its origins come from the whole Bud Light thing that happened, with what's his butt, Dylan Mulvaney. And yes, I said his butt, not her butt, because you can you can tuck fold and put on a dress all you want. That's not gonna make you a woman. But sorry, I had to mute myself there for a second. I didn't want to blow out your eardrums, clearing my throat. It's funny because it's like you're fine pretty much right up until the time you want to start streaming, and then all of a sudden you start getting a scratchy throat. So yeah, it's like, but yeah, Big Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the if I was a little bit more of a YouTuber, a little bit more upscale, I would play the video for you, but I don't know. Are you familiar with the Big Mike dancing clip
No.
video? Yeah, so she's so Ellen DeGeneres. Do you know Ellen? You know Ellen DeGeneres, right? You know who Ellen DeGeneres is?
Yes.
So Michelle Obama was on the Ellen Show, and in part of the show they were on the stage, and with some other, like some people from the audience or something. I don't know. Anyway, and they were like basically doing a line dance, right? And part of the dance, kind of had them, swaying their hips a little bit, right? And then, if you just so happen to look at Miss Obama's frontal area, south of the belt line, it looked like something was kind of trying to make its way out of her pants. So, yeah. Yeah. As Wes Moody likes to say, her roll of quarters was trying to go through her pants. But so yeah. Which I've heard. One of the rumors that I've heard, about 2024 is them possibly trying to throw out Michelle Obama as a candidate, a Democratic candidate for president. As a kind of like possibly a Hail Mary or something like that. Which whatever. More power to them. I mean, it does take balls to be a president. So, Michelle Obama, it would be qualified from what I imagine.
It would be fun to watch.
Yeah. but you know, I'm like I'm like Jeremy Griggs, you know, Mr. Geeks and Gamers himself. When you know, of having the mindset of you know, if the Donald, you know, if the Donald does not get back into the presidency, we're screwed. You know, if JoJo sticks around, or if they replace him with somebody else from that party, we're fucked. You know, I mean, you know, there's nothing saying that we can't come back. You know, because it's like you say, you know, as long as there's people, you know, like us that are willing to, you know, defend, you know, our country, you know, there'll always be a little bit of hope. But if yeah, if old Donald Trump does not make his way back into the White House, shit is gonna hit the fucking fan.
Well, I hope the Orange Man wins, but if he doesn't, and it's Joe again or somebody similar, that's what makes America great. Is that we're going to push through it one way or another. It's not going to end us. It's never going to end us.
But I'm, you know, not to sound like a you know, a nut job or whatever that some people might
No,
think, whatever,
everybody has an opinion.
You know,
No.
if you know, if Joe stays, or if they replace him with somebody, you know, from the Democrat Party, bullets will start flying. I'm pretty much convinced of you know, shit will go down. And
I hope not, because why would you want to sink to the same level as the far left? They don't get their way, they whine and riot and raise hell. All you're going to do is give them something to point a finger at, going, see?
Yeah, well, you know, there does come a time though when, you know, you playing nice just ain't gonna cut it. You know, there is gonna, you know,
the only time
there does come times where you have to, you know, where you do have to get down into the trenches, you know, and get dirty. So
is it really that bad? Is that how you feel?
In a way.
I mean, me,
I'm still
pretty simple. As long as nobody's got a gun to my head and they're not stopping me from doing from what I want to do, then I'm happy. Right. The other stuff, yeah, it hurts my feelings. I wish things were better, but you got to look at it as an individual. Or is somebody really hurting you directly?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they've been chopping away at it, you know, over the last several years, you know, and they're gonna keep chopping at it, you know. It's like I was saying earlier about, you know, the fact that you know, the fact that I can no longer purchase a you know, an AR-15 or a you know, or AR-15 style rifle in this state anymore.
Okay, that's the state.
You know, or the fact that, you know,
there's still 38.
If I can, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I can't. I can't get one at all. But even if I could, I could only have one with a magazine that holds 10 rounds or less. you know, and having a rifle of that sort with 10 rounds or less is freaking stupidity.
Yeah, it kind of defeats
You
the
know,
purpose.
or even you know, even my 9mm that I have, right? You know, I bought it before all this shit, you know, went through, right? Before the, you know, before the quote unquote high capacity magazine ban,
That's
you
a
know,
state thing. Federal
took
government,
effect. But
you can pretty much get whatever you want,
yeah,
as long as you
but I
don't have
mean,
suppressors and it's not
right,
fully auto,
right, which,
which I
you
kind of
know,
agree with.
so
You know,
here's my deal. You know, I'm like, I'm at this point in time, I'm pretty much a Second Amendment absolutist or whatever I'm trying to say here.
no, I
You know,
believe in the Second Amendment.
it's my humble opinion that if you know, if the government and or police can have it, I should be able to have it too. Um, that includes, you know, automatic weapons, a fucking howitzer, whatever. Okay.
Don't know any
Um,
police that got automatic weapons.
uh, you know that. Well, I I think SWAT teams might
Nope.
actually have uh, full auto, but even if they don't, the military does. Okay, and you know, if the, like I said, if the military has it, I should be able to have access to it too. You know,
I
if I can
know only
afford it,
special certain military have it.
yeah,
Most they get the 3-shot burst on the M4, and the
yeah,
5
but they,
carry the M16. They can only pop off one at a time.
well, they have, you know, they've got the selector, you know, they can select between burst and full on, you know, as long as you got the damn trigger down, a bullet's coming out. But, you know, regardless, you know, it's like, to me, if they can have it, I should be able to have it if I can afford it. You know, if I you know, if I want to go out and buy a damn fucking M1A1 Abrams tank, I should be able to do so. You know, I don't know what I would do with it, but hey, you know, it'd be a damn good lawn ornament. You know, but
Well,
you know that,
sometimes, I mean, you got to remember, you're going to get at least half the country that's going to disagree with you. I don't. But my point is this: sometimes to make a good life and to keep things from getting out of hand, there's got to be a compromise. So let's not give you a tank, but we can give you an AR-15. You kind of see what I'm getting at? We can give you
yeah,
we can
yeah,
give
I
you an
know.
AR that may have a bump stock on it, and you can shoot
Mhm.
a couple of shot bursts occasionally, like every third shot. But let's not go fully auto. Okay,
Mm,
it all depends on how people articulate and
yeah,
justify things.
but why not
Sometimes
though?
you got to work compromise. I
Why
mean,
not?
I'm not saying that you're
To
wrong. What I'm
to
saying is
me, yeah.
sometimes you got to compromise in things.
Yeah,
You know,
but see you know, I know that people you know, some people are sick of hearing, you know, these, you know, few words of the Second Amendment, but it's right there in black and white, shall not be infringed.
yeah, and they're not going.
And any law, any compromise, whatever you want to call it, when you get right down to it, is an infringement. And
Not arguing. All I'm saying is, if you can still get a gun, you got a gun. They're not ever going to take away people's rights to have a gun unless you're a convicted felon or somebody with a mental health problem, which a lot of states are starting to go to, which is a good thing. It's a dangerous thing for police, but at the same time, it needs to be done. If you ever heard of what they call a term called two-party affidavit, it's not the police, it's not the government saying anything bad about you. It's your own family and friends who go to a judge and say, look, he's having these mental issues. Y'all need to take his guns.
Oh yeah. That's you know, and
Is that not a good law that's out there? To me, I think it is.
Well, yeah, but that would be one of them red flag laws, and I am against red flag laws.
Why?
Because if you get a well, let's just say you end up having a vindictive ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, or
Like I said,
or
two-party affidavit.
or a former
a former
friend of any sex. It could be a dude, right? It could be a dude, and you guys just aren't getting along. So he goes through, he or she, either one, goes to the authorities and is like, yeah, I've got concerns. I've got concerns about Shellback. I don't think Shellback should own any weapons whatsoever. And next thing you know, I've got somebody knocking on my front door, coming to take my guns away from me.
Well, let me tell you what the law actually says.
Coming to take my God-given right to defend myself.
Yes. It takes multiple people. One person cannot do that. They can't.
No, one person can make the complaint to the authorities, and then the
authorities aren't going to do anything.
Come by and be like, "We need your shit."
Nope, they cannot. You have to have multiple people testifying before a judge. The judge gives the order to the police. Then the police
well, that's what I'm saying. It's a foregone conclusion that a judge and all that is involved. That's what I mean by the authorities. The judge is part of the authorities.
And look at RR. Say, don't we have laws about illegal immigrants? We sure do. And it's up to the federal government. Did you know in our Constitution, the federal government has 3 jobs? One is a bunch of words, basically civil rights. The other one is a strong standing army. And the third and last one is border protection and control. And they're not doing that. That's why every time you hear about states saying, well, we're going to do this to the wall, we're going to protect this, they're superseded by the federal government, because that's written in the Constitution. There's like 10,000 things as far as the state rights and their strengths, but they can't ever supersede the federal government when it comes to immigration. So when the federal government's not doing their own immigration, we're putting a trick bag, just like we are right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like Texas, right? Texas is like, federal government, do your damn job, and the federal government was like, no, we're good. We ain't gonna do shit. So then the governor of Texas and the Texas government was like, well, I guess we'll have to fucking do it ourselves. And that's what they're doing.
And it's nice to see. I agree with them 100%. But what I'm getting at is when push comes to shove and you get those Supreme Court justices involved, Texas and any other state that's protecting their border is going to lose, because it's written in the Constitution very clearly that the government has full autonomy when it comes to immigration and border patrol, border protection. So I'm just telling you the truth, man. Read it. I read that stuff, and it's not a bunch of fancy words. It's very clear.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that that would be like a case, like when it comes to like Texas and Arizona and stuff, it's like they're messing with the sovereignty of the state,
Hey, I agree with you, and like I said, I'm glad what they're doing. I really am.
but
at the same time,
well, it's funny because, like, part of me is like, yes, a state should be able to run things the way it wants to. That's the way it's, that's the way things are set up. That the state can do what the state wants to do.
Yep,
But at the,
that is true.
and I'm like, yes,
Except for three things.
and but at the same time, there's other things like, say, the Bill of Rights in the United States Constitution, right? The Constitution for the whole country. To me, like the Bill of Rights should be freaking concrete in every state of the union. Like those 10 freaking amendments that are in the Bill of Rights should be adhered to in every state without question. Because, chiefly, the first two, the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, and because, like, again, if you can't tell, I'm big on the Second Amendment, and the fact that the fact that the state that I live in can affect my God-given right to self-preservation by limiting what I can have in my arsenal and what I can, the amount of rounds that I can have in said weaponry, that's messing with my that's messing with my God-given right.
And I agree with you, but what I'm getting at again is that in the Constitution, as far as states' rights, they can do that. Uncle Sugar can't come in and make up stuff outside of those three areas we discussed earlier. But states, they have a lot of power to do a lot of things. And if you don't agree with it, you're going to have to move to another state.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not me
which
talking.
right now, that is not a possibility.
Yeah.
Me and a lot of other people that live in on the left coast, as I like to say.
Yeah.
We can't afford to go anywhere.
I got you.
Right now, and but like if it was a perfect world right now, my ass would be quote unquote retired, okay, and I would have my M1085 military truck RV conversion, or M1087, which was like a kind of like a mobile command post type of vehicle.
And I've seen in Stripes was Bill Murray.
I've seen people turn those into expeditionary RV type of vehicles. But anyway, if it was a perfect world, I would be quote unquote retired, living in my expeditionary RV and just going wherever the fuck I wanted to. If I wanted to be here, I'd be here. If I wanted to be warm and sunny, I would drive my happy ass down to Arizona and say, yo, what's up, Snow Dub? Or if I wanted to do some freaking deep sea fishing, I'd drive my happy ass to Florida, and go pick up drunk 3PO and get a boat, But yeah, you're not entirely wrong there, awesome one. I would definitely be doing some Mad Max shit if I had to. But that's one of my favorite movies, by the way. Well, that the whole the whole trilogy. I love the whole freaking.
The fourth one was very good too.
Mad Max, The Road Warrior, and Thunderdome. I like all three of them. Like, who run Bartertown? Who run Bartertown?
Hey, did you
Master
like Fury
Blaster.
Road? Fury Road was good.
It was an okay movie, but it wasn't a Mad Max movie. It was Furiosa movie.
Yeah, but she's a good actress. She didn't hurt it.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't Mad Max. It was he was a damn side character in his own freaking movie. That was you know,
Yeah, I get
Furiosa was the main character in that movie. I don't care what anybody says. It was her movie, not his, and they should have named it Furiosa or something. I don't know.
and they just did. Apparently, there's one coming out.
Well, yeah, the whole prequel thing. When she was younger. Yeah, so they can't even bring what's her name back.
Yeah.
To be Furiosa, they got to go back in time and show you her struggle or whatever, and how she lost her fucking arm and shit like that. But, yeah, it's which it's funny because they're calling it Furiosa, a Mad Max saga or some crap like that. Just fucking, yeah, they gotta fucking, they still have to attach that name recognition of Mad Max to their damn movie, and it's not even, anyway.
Oh, that's what they do nowadays when they already know it's not going to be very good. They're going to rinse them dollars.
Oh, wait a minute. Is Phil here?
Yeah. I'm a
Shut
sucker,
up, Phil.
I'm still
Shut up,
watch
Phil. Freaking ketchup on pizza. Dude, do you know about the whole ketchup on pizza thing, sheep herder?
No, I hadn't heard that. I know your
Yeah,
friend
so Phil,
pineapple.
Yeah, so Phil here, right? Phil here is he's got some retardation going on in his brain, and so he likes to put ketchup on pizza, and so it's not good enough. Okay, it's not good enough for him, to have the marinara on there, right? That actually belongs on pizza. Marinara, which is far superior to the condiment known as ketchup. Okay, but yet, for some reason, he insists upon putting said condiment on a perfectly good pizza pie, right? But yet, at the same time, he will chastise me because I am team pineapple pizza. Okay,
me too.
I like pineapple on my pizza. Okay, especially and primarily it's the the quote unquote Hawaiian style pizza, right? With pineapple and Canadian bacon, right?
And jalapeno.
Well, no, I'm not really a spicy person. If you want to put jalapeno on there, go ahead and knock yourself out. But jalapenos aren't necessarily part of a quote unquote traditional Hawaiian pizza.
Agreed.
But to me, ketchup. Okay, ketchup is not a pizza topping, Phil. Okay, it is not. Okay, I don't care how much cognitive dissonance you want to have. Okay, ketchup is not a pizza topping. Pineapple is. Okay, like it or not, one is actually a pizza topping, the other is not. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Where's the okay, time to take that off the screen. Anyway. What see, look at him. See, he's he's sailing up that river in Egypt. Okay, denial.
Mhm. And he calls you Boo.
But yeah. We're not. I mean, we're we're friendly, but we ain't that friendly, Phil. Okay, no means no. Okay, you try to touch my no square, there are gonna be problems. Anyway.
Well, your picture's gone and you're a nipple, so maybe he got excited.
Yeah, well, see, I was gonna try and change that, but I don't. What? Where is the? No, private Steam info settings. Is it in settings? Audio, camera. What the hell? Camera. Okay, that's not it. I don't know. Oh, fuck it.
R says it's giving off mixed messages.
Yeah. Well, see, I've haven't had my camera on because, when you're on the phone and it, and especially if you're trying to charge it at the same time, and you got the camera on, it kind of drains it a little bit more or something, and it makes the battery heat up. But anyway, here, just so I'm not a nipple anymore, and so that I'm not enticing Phil to call me Boo, because my avatar looks like a nipple. There you go. Now I just look like, if Palpatine had a baby with Frank Zappa.
All right, nice soul patch.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I've had nice big long goatee. I've had a beard or whatever and stuff, but I decided to just go with the mustache and the patch for a while. But less gray hairs involved, if nothing else. But
Darth Shellback. I like that.
Yeah. Things are going according to plan.
You got to drop that blue T-shirt though.
Oh, that's my. Yeah, I've been lazy, and so after I got home from work last night, I kind of, this morning, technically, I just went straight to sleep, and then I woke up about 3 or 4 o'clock, this afternoon, and so I didn't really have time to change or anything like that. So I still got my shirt, my hump day shirt from that I wear on Wednesdays.
Comments are on fire right now.
Yeah, but what? Shellback, the roadie for a rock band. Okay.
You got a camel. You need a sheep.
Yeah, I appreciate that, RR. I can grow a pretty sick ass freaking goat, but I don't know. It's trying to maintain it and stuff. It's like it's all right, but once it gets like so long, then I end up starting to need to get like product for it, and I can't really afford to spend all kinds of money on freaking hair care products these days. So I just, for right now, this is best. But what it was, the blue shirt is part of his turtle kini. What the fuck are you talking about, Phil? Shut up, Phil. Jesus. Um. Anyway. So yeah, it's you know, yes, I still have yesterday's clothes on and stuff, and you know, I'm a dirty scumbag, but whatever, I don't care right now. There, there's nobody here to impress. You know, I live by myself, so you know, maybe one of these days, if I ever pick up another wife or girlfriend, you know, then I'll spruce up a little bit better. Um, but but yeah. Oh no. So last night I was at work. I had to pick up a pallet, right? And one of the bottom boards was gone, right? And so there was a nail sticking out, and it snagged my freaking hoodie and tore a little hole in my pocket. You know,
Oh,
and this is like my favorite hoodie. It's my freaking my 9-line freaking uh Cara Dune hoodie. I don't know if I'm in good position in the camera or not, but yeah, it's so yeah, I'm not happy that I tore a little, you know, finger-sized hole in the pocket of my hoodie, but I'll have to excuse me, I'll have to get a patch or something and patch over the hole. I've got I got a patch that came, you know, it's some little extra goodies that came when I got my Sig Sauer, my
hey,
9 millimeter,
hey, Shellback.
and
I don't mean to interrupt, brother, but I gotta run. I gotta
yeah,
take this. Hey, y'all take care and be safe.
right on. Thanks for coming, man. Oh, all right, all right. Well, I'm not gonna be on here too much longer anyway, but anyway, just to continue my story, my wonderfully boring story. Um, One of the possibilities for repair on my little hole that got ripped into my hoodie pocket is a patch that they gave me with my Sig that I bought. Uh, it's got the Velcro stuff on the back, so I guess it's, you know, if you've got oh look, I guess you don't really need to. It kind of clings to the, so you know, if you got one of those Velcro patches or whatever, like on a military uniform, you can be like, bam, you know. But anyway, I thought about, you know, possibly taking this and, like, you know, getting some um fabric glue, you know, something that's meant to, you know, go through the washer and stuff, you know, and putting it on there to cover up that hole. But it's it's like over twice the size of what I would need to make said repair. So I don't know if I would end up using that or not, but I'm gonna have to get something eventually before the hole, you know, ends up making itself bigger. But uh, oh, we've been uh, dragging this shit show along for 3 hours. Wow. Um, so I was at an Emery concert and tore both the pockets on my new hoodie from the mosh. So I'm guessing Emery is a metal band or punk band or something. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of them, but to me, when I hear mosh pit, it's got to be either metal or punk or some variation of one of those two. Which it's funny that you bring up something like that because you know it seems like now in my quote unquote old age, even though I'm not old, I'm only what 53. I don't consider myself old yet, but anyway, it seems like I'm more of a metal fan now than what I was when I was younger, and with the age group that you're supposed to be, all angsty and into heavy metal and stuff. Uh, I don't know. I guess you know, I guess it's kind of like the Benjamin Button effect or something. I'm doing certain things in reverse. But yeah, I think I'm more of a metal fan now than I was back, in my teens and 20s when I'm supposed to be into that type of stuff. But they had their excuse me, they had their start near Bremerton. Surprised you haven't heard of them. I'm not saying I haven't heard of them. They're just not ringing any bells right now. So, but it's funny though that a lot of people don't know that if you might have to be a little bit older, because I don't know how many of the younger people have heard of Sir Mix-a-Lot, but Mr. Baby Got Back. So that's where he's from. Sir Mix-a-Lot is from Bremerton. So um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure somebody's gonna make a movie about that. Yeah. But anyway, crap. Like I said, we've been dragging this train wreck out for 3 hours now. I might start wrapping it up. Unless one of you fine folks that are still hanging around want to click on that StreamYard link and show your way in here and shoot the shit for a little while longer. What is this? I visited the town when my brother was in the Navy at the time. Tiny place. Well, it's not really. Actually, Bremerton is actually a pretty decent sized town. It's just that the Navy base is like basically right there on the edge, and so if that's the only part of Bremerton you went to, yeah, it's gonna look tiny as you put it. But Bremerton is actually spread out quite a bit. And in fact, they've even got East Bremerton. And it's like on its own little peninsula island thing or whatever. Anyway, basically, you have to cross a bridge to get over to that part of Bremerton. But yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's bigger than the town that I'm in across the water. So they and as far as I know, where the population here is at least 25,000. So, um, but yeah, well, all right. We've my clock, my counter clock is saying 3 minutes and or 3 minutes. Jesus, 3 hours and 14 minutes. that we've been going, and yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. No, no doxing, but yeah. So, but not that I'm, I don't really care. I don't really care if people know the town that I live in, but because I, like I said, I don't walk around this place, uh, all willy nilly. I do uh, carry my protection with me, so I'm not worried about. I'm one of those few people that I'm not really worried about uh, doxing or whatever, because if you wanna if you wanna go there with me, I will you know I will go right back. Uh, so anyway, um, thank you, sir, and thank you thank you to everybody else who took a moment or two out of their day to watch this train wreck. I appreciate it, and I will. As far as I know, I will. Me or uh, Rudolph, my buddy Rudolph. One of us will see you guys on Snowdub's channel on Saturday. I don't know about Friday, but the Friday show is kind of a little up in the air these days. But as far as I know, me or Rudolph will be on Snowdub's channel on Saturday, and actually, you can hear the past few weeks. You can see me on this guy's channel on Friday nights for his Friday, late show, uh, which is always a good time. Um, if you if you happen to be here in the chat or watching this on a replay or whatever, and you make it to this point, um, please, by all means, check out Loki's channel. It's just like it says there, Loki's Mornings of Mischief, and look for that avatar. I believe that avatar is on his home page, channel page, whatever you want to say, and it's always a good time streaming with that guy, and his morning shows are they're awesome. Um, I've told him more than once that and I know there other people have too, that you know, like his show. So being a nighttime worker, I watch him basically at the end of my day. Um, but a lot of other people wake up with this guy, right? And anyway, long story longer. I've told him, that there's been many a time uh, when I'll turn on his show at the end of my, nighttime worker day, and I've just had like just a shitty ass day, and his mornings of mischief show would be like the only good part of the whole fucking day. So, um, if you can, if you're up and at 'em, at for me being on the left coast, for me it's 6 a.m. So if you're up and about at 6 a.m. Pacific time, get on here on YouTube and click on his channel and hang out for an hour. You won't be disappointed. But anyway, with that, I don't really have anything, any type of self promotion. I, like I said before, I'm not as motivated as I should be, to be a quote unquote YouTuber. And not that it's an excuse, but if I did hit that 500 subscriber mark, that would be a motivating factor to make more content, because I know that my content would be put out there into the algorithm more than when you're sub 500. But anyway, thanks for coming, everybody. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'll see you guys on Loki's and Snowdub's channels this weekend. Have a good one.